Hey family, it's African Osorenko, and I am so glad to be back with you again for another video. And family, this video will be focused on President Trump's executive order to kind of break down or dismantle, however they are putting it now in the news, the Department of Education. So I'm going to read a small little article, just a bit of it, for you guys, and then we'll go from there. And this article is from the Clarion Ledger. And it says, is U.S. Department of Education gone? Well, of course, we know it's not completely gone. Learn what new Trump executive order on Department of Education does. Okay. President Donald Trump signed an executive order to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education on Thursday, March 20th. But only Congress can fully close a federal agency. So what happens next is still unclear. According to the White House, Trump is ordering Secretary of Education Linda McMahon, who is the wife of Jim McMahon, the wrestling mogul, to take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education and return education authority to the states while continuing to ensure the effective and uninterrupted delivery of services, programs, and benefits on which many Americans rely. And we know that many uh, Caucasian Americans receive services and programs through the Department of Education, more so than the Black students, because we already know that although in many of our communities we pay higher taxes, however, we get less services in our communities. A White House official acknowledged that the agency will keep administering critical programs and can't be fully dissolved without congressional approval, but it will operate at a small scale with fewer employees. Here's what we know about changes to the government agency that could affect Mississippi K through 12 schools, colleges, and universities. Even with the executive order, Trump's promise to close the U.S. Department of Education is not a guarantee. So it says the 60 vote threshold needed to pass legislation to shutter the education department in the Senate may be difficult to achieve, though the GOP has a majority in both chambers of Congress. And they probably won't completely dismantle the Department of Education, and it's only because more Caucasians receive, as I said before, the benefit of programs, you know, especially special need programs. Okay, because I've worked with school children, I have worked with the school board as far as trying to develop IEPs for children, which those are individualized educational plans for them with special needs. And in our community, I can tell you now that many of these programs don't benefit our children. I had a 5-year old that was in kindergarten. I believe he was in kindergarten. He might have been in first grade. He was between 5 and 6, and I had to fight. I had to fight with the school. Now I didn't work for the school. Okay, I worked through another agency that was court appointed, but I had to literally fight with the school. The Hispanic, um, and it doesn't matter the race, I'm just bringing that point in, but the Hispanic principal did not want this child to have an IEP. He wanted the child to only be uh, looked at behaviorally as having just behavioral issues so that he could get him kicked out of the school. So, as I said before, in many of our communities, for our people, the Department of Education is not doing a sufficient job. They don't do their jobs. And I'm just going to say that because I know firsthand. The Democrats know it's right, and I hope they're going to be voting for it because ultimately it may come before them, Trump said at the executive order signing. Passing the legislation would most likely require some Democratic support. Some Republican Congress members have previously voiced apprehension over getting rid of the agency. They don't want their own children and families to suffer. A leading teachers union has said they plan to sue the Trump administration over the changes. See you in court, Randy Winningarden, president of the American Federation of Teachers, said earlier in the week. So, bills to kill the Department of Education is active in Congress. Almost 600 education related bills have already been introduced for the 2025-26 Congress, along with 100 suggested resolutions. They cover a broad range of goals nationally. A few have oppositional goals for the education department, including at least one to scrap it and another aiming to save it. Representative David Rouser, he's a Republican in North Carolina, introduced the state's Education Reclamation Act of 2025 in January. It would abolish the Department of Education and transfer its duties to other agencies. It was referred to the House Committee on Education and Workforce. The Department of Education Protection Act was introduced by Representative Johanna Haynes. She's a Democrat in Connecticut. If passed, a summary of the bill said it would keep funds from being used to decentralize, reduce the staffing level of, or alter the responsibilities of functionality. It uses January 1st, 2025 as the benchmark to maintain. The bill also was referred to the House Education Committee. What we know about the Federal Education Department is that the Federal Education Department was created in 1979 and began operating in 1980. It serves many roles, including creating and enforcing regulations and providing billions of dollars each year to assist public schools and college students. The agency has historically ensured anti discrimination laws and policy I follow. I'm going to start right there, family, because we know that is one big fat lie, because there are many black children that attend predominantly Caucasian schools that are discriminated against, not only by and bullied by their peer, but also by staff. So that is just an outright lie. So, I mean, honestly, family, it's a two-edged sword because I believe that there's a woman back in the 70s, I believe it was. Her name was Marva Collins, and they have a movie about her, and I believe she has written several books. But Miss Collins was a black educator, and she taught in elementary school. And Miss Collins saw that in the black schools, although black people are paying taxes, just like in the white areas, that the schools in the black areas, in the black communities, were dilapidated. They were disgusting. The children had barely no any books, and when they did have books, they were worn and torn and battered and tattered, probably handed down from other schools in other communities. And so she decided to do something about it. And she started a school. And I tell you, over 80% of those children that went through the Marva Collins School also completed high school, and many, many went to college and has completed college. So it, if they were to dismantle the Board of Education, I would say we would be okay, family. And I know every time this man strokes a pen, uh, millions of black people in America have a fit. We got to stop having a fit. The Bible tells us to separate from them. And these are our oppressors that have oppressed us for over 400 years. So why should we be crying about separating from these people? There should be no reason. We have to stop being afraid to be independent. We can be independent. We are an independent people. We are a great people. We are a people that can, come together and we can build. We have done it before. We can do it again. And we have to stop being afraid of each other and of progress. Because let me tell you something. Honestly, I'm not a Republican, so I'm not a Republican. I am not a Democrat either. And what I see is that a lot of these programs and all these different things that we have engaged with these people have been very harmful to our people. They have, because in many instances, and you have to think about it, if there is racism targeting you on the job, then there is racism targeting our children in the schools. And so we have to understand that. It's not like our children are going to some of these schools and being safe. Okay. And I just believe that if we have more people that look like us, then we can keep our children safe. We can ensure that they have the best education with less stress, and that they are prepared, family. Because think about it, this educational system is a prison, is a pipeline to prison for many of our young black male children. It really is. It gears them up to be locked up. And often, when our black children and black boys in particular have uh, behavioral issues, they don't try to build a plan around that child. I've seen them call the police on a 5-year-old. This is what I have witnessed and seen on my own, and had to take it to court. Okay, so we have to stop looking at, oh, they're gonna exclude us. They're gonna oh, who cares? Please let them exclude us, because we need to exclude in order for a system. This is a corrupt system. In order for a system to work, it cannot be corrupt. It cannot be inept to do the job that it was designed to do, and it cannot be built on racism. So the system must be completely torn down, torn away, and developed. And whether that's on an individual level, where we are separating, from this system and creating our own, it will be to our benefit. Number one, they stopped, uh, you know, being able to teach Black history. Black history is American history. Okay, so they stopped, the educators' ability to ensure that correct information is being taught in the schools so that they don't feel bad about the actions that they have done and that they are still doing to this day. So, I mean, why would we want our children to be educated by these people? This is where I don't understand. And when I speak to some Black people, and I'm not saying all, but when I speak to some Black people, my eyebrow kind of raises at them because I really don't understand it. Why are we upset if they dismantle the Department of Education and we have to educate our children? College level, now there's many things. Our people can learn a trade, okay? There's many trades that they can do and learn. They can learn a trade, or even if necessary and if possible, go outside of this country for education. Family, we gotta become innovative as we were innovative in the past, because this is the only way we will beat the devil at his own game. Okay? And I really look at it, everything that is happening, I trust and believe in the Most High that it is all by his design. And many times, oftentimes, when he means something for good and we may take it, for bad, and we fight against it, you're fighting against yourself and your own progress. So we have to stop fighting against ourselves and our own progress, because trust me, family, whatever these people do, it will not matter, because we are glorified by the Most High, and we will continue to be glorified, and we will do well. So there's nothing they can do to destroy us. They're destroying themselves, and let it be. Let it be. All right. So, family, that's all I have for right now. I thank you so much for coming back to view the video, to like, to share, to comment. And I welcome you all. I welcome you all. Please subscribe. I would love to have you as a permanent subscriber. All right. All right, family. You take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. And peace, love, and blessings to you all. Bye bye.